Hi, man, with eTrailer. If you have a 2023 Toyota Tacoma and you're looking for a chain that is going to be a little bit more rugged for those more heavy-duty conditions and pretty easy to tighten down and hold into place, then the Titan chain tire chains with the cams and twist links are going to be a great option for you. And we are going to have these on tire size 245, 75, RS16. Now they will fit a variety of other sizes. That's just the size we have today. And we're going to have this on a rear axle as what the manual recommends. Taking a closer look at these chains, they are going to be some moderate sized chains with this twist design to them. And we're going to have this bladder pattern design to them. And what all that really means is with that twist to these links, that's going to give you that extra bite through that deeper snow. But it's not going to be something as aggressive as some links that have V's welded into them. Because those V's can be pretty aggressive, but the downside to that is when you're driving through any kind of patchy areas that have any pavement showing through, you can tear up that pavement a lot. So these are just going to give you a little bit more peace of mind, and you don't have to worry about them tearing up the ground as much. And with that ladder pattern design, that's going to help you with stopping and starting. And we are also going to have some cams to help us out, get any of that extra slack out of these chains. And really today, I didn't have to use all of them, so you can still have some room to play around with. Now, you will have this lever at the bottom that will tighten these chains up a bit. While that is great, I think the cams are offering us a lot here because trying to get this tightened all the way down without cams would be pretty difficult. However, I still strongly recommend using a rubber tensioner because what's great about this is it's going to constantly apply tension while you drive. Because when you do drive with these on, a lot of times they can shift, and if they shift, they usually loosen up. And if they loosen up, they could make contact with your suspension. So this is just going to offer you a lot of peace of mind. However, it will not come with your kit, so you have to find a set of these, and we have plenty of them on our website. Now, talk about what comes with your kit. You are going to have this pretty light-duty bag. It comes with this device to help users cams. Now, I'm not a big fan of the bag though, because it's pretty light duty, and especially when you are using these chains, they're going to get wet, icy, and putting that back in the bag is not going to be ideal. This will not last very long. So I'd recommend just investing in a small tote to keep your chains in. In my opinion, I think these are a pretty good set of chains, especially with how easy they are to work with and tighten down, and if you are driving through those more heavy-duty conditions. If you're looking though for something that's a bit easier to install because you don't want to have to get underneath your truck, then I'd recommend checking out the Titan Chain Assisted Tensioning Tire Chains, because then you won't even have to invest in a rubber tensioner as well. It has a built-in rubber piece that will help assist with that tensioning. Now, the only downside to that is those links aren't going to be as large as this, so they're not going to be ideal for those heavy-duty conditions. Now, if you are curious about the installation, just stay tuned and we'll walk you through the process. To start off the installation, I like to just grab some gloves, make this a bit easier and lay out my chains. And if you are doing this for the first time, I recommend staying home and trying it out. Now, what I'm looking for is for a couple things. We want to make sure there's no damages to our links and everything's not tangled up and in the right orientation. And what I mean by that is we want to make sure these hooks are facing up so they're away from your tire so it doesn't damage anything, and we want to make sure these cams are furthest away from your tire. I also like to make sure this isn't already tightened down. That's what it's going to look like once tightened down, so just make sure it's flipped around just like so. And from here, all I'm going to do is lift it up and drape it over my tire. The best way I find to do this is to grab it from the center and drape it over like so. When you do this, you also want to make sure it's not hanging too low, so I'm just going to pull that up until it's about even on both sides and centered on that tire. And then I'm just going to make sure everything's well spread out. Sometimes these might tighten down as you do that. That's okay, just loosen them up. And then I like to lay out the chains on the bottom here so they're a little bit easier to make those connections. And talking about those connections, I like to start on the back side first. And to do this, we're just going to grab the side with the links and the side with that metal hook and make that connection just like so. Now this is a little bit too loose, so we're going to have plenty of options to go from these other links. And since it is kind of tight down here, it's not too bad. That's why I recommended earlier trying this at home first, because doing this for the first time can be tricky, especially if there is a blizzard and you're on the side of the road. And when you tighten this up, you want to make sure you don't do it too much, or you won't be able to tighten the front side, or it's just going to give you an uneven fit, and you want to make sure everything is evenly distributed so they give you a good ride. Now the front side is going to be pretty simple too. Now there will be a little bit of a difference though. Instead, this time we're going to have this lever, and that's going to go through the center of one of these links. And I'm going to try to get this pretty tight. Once you have it through the center, we're just going to apply some pressure till it bends back like this. And we're going to have this extra link kind of dangling out to the side that we're going to connect it to. And it'll grab on into place. After which, I like to come back through, kind of pull on this to see how it's fitting. And there's still a lot of slack in it. That's okay. That's why we got those cams, and I got that tool. The way you're going to use this tool is we're going to have this flat side to it, and that's going to go into the hole of these cams. Once you have it in there, you're just going to turn, try to tighten that up. I'm already finding we've got some good resistance. See how it feels up here. I could probably try to tighten this one up too. But after this is probably going to be the last one. I might still attempt it, but we'll see how it goes. And this is feeling extremely tight right now, so that should be good. Even though this feels really good, I'm still going to use a rubber tensioner just in case, to give me a little bit more peace of mind. And the way we're going to put this on is going to be in a star pattern. Something else to keep in mind is the way you put these hooks into place. So you want to make sure that hook is facing away from your tire, just so it doesn't puncture anything. Then, once this is on here completely, we're going to just give it another pull test or a little snug to see how it feels. And if you like the way this looks and feels, then you can repeat this process on the other side. When you have both installed, then I recommend either just pulling forward or backing up some just to see how this looks to make sure nothing's shifted too much. If it looks good, you can take it out for a ride. But that was just a look at the Titan chain tire chains with cams and twist links on our 2023 Toyota Tacoma. I'm Matt. Thanks for watching.